guys, what is up? We are back, day 2 of my NHL 2020 playoffs, and we are here with the day 2 recap, and at the end of the video, the day 3 preview. So let's get into it. So the way I'm formatting this is, I am putting the 2 games, which are the round robin games first, and then we'll head into the actual qualifier elimination games. So to start off, we got the Philadelphia Flyers versus the Boston Bruins, and as you guys can see, a 4-1 win by the Flyers, with Mikhail Raffl putting up 2 points, and then we got Wagner for Boston putting up just 1 point, and there we have the group standings with Philly with 2 and the rest with 0, although Tampa Bay and Washington have not played yet. So now my review of the game, and it really was shown one thing here. Philadelphia came out to win the group, and Boston came out to rest. It actually matters until their life's on the line. So yeah, Boston ended up playing Yaroslav Halak, and we don't know why. Some people say Rask was injured. Sorry, I don't know exactly why. Maybe they just wanted to rest him. But yeah, overall, Philadelphia came to win the group. Boston came to just see, get their feet wet, as they say. And yeah, let's move on to the next game. So the next game, we have the St. Louis Blues taking on the Colorado Avalanche. And as you guys can see here, the Avalanche get the 2-1 win over the Blues, with Nazem Kadri scoring 1 very big point. We'll get to that later. And David Perron for the Blues getting 1 point. And there you can see the standings for the group. The Avalanche with 2, everyone else with 0, and then Vegas and Dallas are to play later on. And yeah, it was a pretty even game. St. Louis were up, Colorado scored, and then we have the buzzer beater with literally 0.1 seconds on the clock. And this one was actually clean. If you guys remember, I believe 2017 or 18 in the Hlinka Gretzky Cup, I think that's how you pronounce it, it was Canada versus USA, and that was a buzzer beater. Yet, if you actually look at it, it was late, it shouldn't have counted. This was actually a clean buzzer beater. So a big goal. It's a really bad loss for St. Louis, a sucky loss for St. Louis. One that's going to sting, but at least, this isn't a game that will eliminate them or anything. So they can they can win their next 2 games, and hopefully Colorado doesn't win. They can still top the group without a doubt. So yeah, great game there. Now we move on to the first NHL qualifier game. We got the Nashville Predators taking on the Arizona Coyotes. And as you guys can see, Arizona leads the series 1-0 by winning today's game 4-3, with Christian Dvorak putting up 2 points and Philip Forsberg putting up 2 for the Preds. And this was a game that went back and forth. I didn't watch the very beginning, and actually at one point I believe Arizona were up 4-1, 3-0, and then 4-1 I believe. Nashville ended up coming back, obviously not enough, and Nashville actually played UC Saros, which may have surprised some people, may have not. It was up, a lot of goalie duos in this league, or in these playoffs. A lot of them were up for grabs, and the people who took them, or the goalies that the coaches started, they took advantage of it, aka Stalock, Korpisalo, people like that. But UC Saros, they did lose, so we'll see if Rene plays game 2, and yeah, like I said, a good game. I totally did not expect this. Like I said, I thought their morale would be down as their GM, quote unquote, quit on them. But no, Arizona comes out on top with the big win. Move on to the 2 big games of the day, at least in my case, as a Canadian. We got Toronto and we got Vancouver playing. So we'll start off with Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Columbus Blue Jackets game. And as you guys can see, a shutout victory for the Jackets and a 2-0 victory. Cam Atkinson putting up 2 points, absolutely nada for the Leafs, as they get shut out by Korpisalo. As you guys can see, also underneath, my MVP of the day is him, but we'll get more into that later. And yeah, Columbus just put up a great effort, and it was really, a lot of people were saying offense versus defense, and the defense prevailed. They just shut down the Leafs a lot. Tortorella with some great coaching, and Corpusalo with some big saves obviously were needed. But Columbus just played a great game, and they scored when they needed. They scored an empty netter. Atkinson scored a big one though to start off the third, which really shifted momentum. As I don't know exactly, but the Leafs did not have a good amount of shots to end the game. I think 4 maybe in the last chunk of time in the third period. So yeah, Leaf fans, I don't know if it's time to get worried, but it's not looking great, as this isn't a 7-game series, it's a 5-game series. So if a team goes up 2-0, it's very close to being over. A 2-0 in a 5-game series is very close to being over. So yeah, Columbus wins a huge game, and now let's move on to the final game of the day. Do I really have to talk about this? As you guys can see from my last video and previous videos, I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, and this game, I guess you could say I'm in Spain, but take away the S. That was me watching the game. Painful. Especially the first 10 minutes, and then it kind of just dragged out, and you knew Canucks weren't scoring. But anyway, to start off the game, Michael Furlan with a big fight. I don't recall who he was fighting, but he bloodied him up and everything. And I was like, all right, Furlan, thank you. Canucks got momentum with that big fight win. This is it. Canucks take advantage, and boom, Minnesota score. It's Kevin Fiala with a good shot, but Markstrom still should have had it. And then the next 5 to 10 minutes were literal domination, where Minnesota could have been up 3-4-0 10 minutes into the first, but Markstrom saved Canucks. People might be looking at the score and saying, wow, Markstrom didn't perform. No, trust me, he did. He saved Canucks numerous times. Yeah, he let in an iffy goal, but he saved them multiple times on breakaways, 2-on-1s, etc. So yeah, at the end of the first period, it's 1-0 for the Wild. Canucks are looking okay towards the end. And then the second and third, it was just Minnesota playing great defense. Really, really good coaching and good game plan. They shut down all of Canucks stars. Pettersson couldn't even skate, 2 strides. He would get hit or checked or something. Besser couldn't really get a hold of anything. JT Miller didn't look good in this game. And yeah, Minnesota, the shots were close. The offense was about even. But just like the Columbus game, defense wins over offense. Defense wins championships. And that's how it was here. It was a battle of defense versus offense, and the defense totally shut down the Canucks. So, looking at this game, even being a Canucks fan, if the Canucks don't change up their strategy in Game 2, for all you Canucks fans watching, y'all better hope we get Alexei Lafreniere, because we ain't winning this series for shit. We're not winning this series if we lose Game 2, because it's probably going to be the same game if we lose Game 2. If it's a high-scoring game, we will probably win. But if it's the same sort of game, we're going to lose. And 2-0 down in a series like this, it's probably over. So we really got to adjust the game plan. Travis Green needs to do something big. And if it's a 1-1 series, then it's anyone's game. So that's my recap. And now we move on to the headlines of the day. It's a little part I like to put in here. And you can see it's the green circled part. And at the top, it's lower seeded teams shine. So today, all the lower seeded teams, Arizona, Columbus, and Minnesota, all pulled out big W's. And even yesterday, Montreal, Chicago, pulling out big W's as the road team. So 5 out of 8 so far. So a lot of upsets, as you could say. Both the number 12 seeds beating the number 5 seeds, which is crazy. And our second headline is the Canadian teams' bad starts. So the only Canadian teams playing today were the Leafs and the Canucks, and they literally had identical games. For those of you who watched both games, it was identical. Toronto and Vancouver couldn't get anything started because of the Columbus and Minnesota's great defense, and they just couldn't get anything going. Some good goaltending by Korpisalo and Stalock, but really it was just great defense. They couldn't get anything going. So identical games for the Canadian teams, as they were both very bad starts. And our final headline of the day, the buzzer beater. How could it not be a headline? 0.1, Nazem Kadri gets it done. And it was great to see. So, yeah, it was a big 2 points for Colorado. They could easily win this group with that buzzer beater. And now we get on to the MVP of the day. You guys can see the MVP of the day goes to Joonas Korpisalo. And yesterday it was between Kubalik and Price. Today there's a lot of options here. Obviously Kadri. We have Christian Dvorak. We got Stalock and we got Korpisalo. Those are about the four that I was maybe like, alright, they could win. And then I narrowed it down to the two goaltenders that got the shutouts, because shutouts are huge in playoff games, absolutely huge, especially in game one, as they make a big statement. And I just gave it to Korpisalo, just because I feel like the Leafs had better chances to score than the Canucks. That was really the only reason. Obviously, you know, he looked really good in net. So that's why he gets MVP of the day. And as you guys can see, I added another layer in the whiteboard. In the top right, the games tomorrow column. So as you guys can see here, small writing. I can even zoom in if you don't want. Carolina versus Rangers, game 2, 9 a.m. my time, which is Pacific time on the West Coast. To be exact, Calgary Winnipeg, game 2, 11:30. Washington, Tampa, round robin, 1 p.m. Dallas, Vegas, round robin, 3:30 p.m. Pittsburgh, Montreal, really looking forward to that. Game 2, 5 p.m. Edmonton, Chicago, really looking forward to see how Edmonton responds. Game 2, 7:30 p.m. And that's it, guys. No Canucks jerseys for me today. They didn't rep well. They better bounce back Tuesday. If not, Alexis Lafreniere, please come here. Alright, guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow for the day 3 recap.